Hello, I'm Jenny Fern and welcome to my library. Today is going to be a reading vlog and general vlog. I want to read Frankenstein. It's an epistolary novel at the beginning. I just completely forgot about that part and I was not super into it. So I'm gonna read that, probably with the LibriVox and the book, just so that I can really get into the story. I find that listening to the audio while reading the text really helps me with classics. Last week, I read The Island of Dr. Moreau, and I fucking loved it. I thought it was so good. Frankenstein's a reread. I read it when I was in high school and I don't remember a ton about it except that I liked it. The other thing I really want to do today is there's this area behind my house that isn't technically my property and it goes up against like this drainage ditch. I want to put some wildflower seeds in that area. I've been reading pretty slowly actually, Silent Earth, which is about the insane decline of insect life on our planet, so I want to give them some forage, some plants. I have a permaculture garden, so I definitely have a haven for insects. That's really important to me. I'm definitely a lot better at plant identification right now than I am at insect identification. Bugs, they have like their nymph stage and then their adult stages, and so they just look different at different times. I also want to spread the wildflower seeds out in more of the wild part of my neighborhood. It's basically this area that butts up against the freeway. So my cat has been sick. I have his last dose of antibiotics to give him. He is definitely better. He's just not very strong right now. Usually he will hop up onto, so you see this where my sewing machine is? He hops up to that height for eating his food, and he hasn't been able to do that this whole week. We're at the bottom of the container now. There's a little bit of air in there, but that's okay. Let me give this to my cat. I don't think you're gonna be able to see it because he's down here. One moment, and now we're done. Now he just has to get better. Okay. Hello, I hope you enjoyed the pebble. Oh, shit, I spilled. Oh my god, you guys. I'm not doing well. My brain is like just not really working super well. Been really overwhelmed at work. I'm having a terrible time at work this week. I took today off. Today's Friday. I'm gonna try to recover. But anyway, I'm so happy that my cat is feeling better. Hi, buddy. Here he is. Isn't he so cute? When he had a fever, his third eyelids were raised, which I guess is a sign of a cat having a fever, and he looked so sad. He had these really glassy eyes. Hi, bud. And I felt so bad for him. And he also had like no appetite. Let's read on the couch for a little bit. It's like 8 o'clock. Clipper always steals my spot. All the time. So I think I got to like chapter 5 of Frankenstein. So far it's pretty great. I also picked some vegetables from the front garden for my breakfast this morning, so I'm gonna make the breakfast shortly. I forgot one of the most important things that I have to do today. I have to go walk to the post office and set up my P.O. box because I really would like to write letters to prisoners. I got really interested in the US prison system. I watched the show Jailbirds and it opened my eyes to the prison system and basically the fact that there are so many people there who are isolated and who are deserving of more, basically. So after I watched Jailbirds, hi baby, I decided to buy some books that were written by prisoners. So far I've read 4, and I DNF'd 1. The one that I DNF'd was not written by a prisoner, it was written by a prison librarian, and I had to stop reading it because of how dehumanizing his language was. It was awful. The books that I have read written by prisoners: Walls and Bars by Eugene V. Debs. That was excellent. It is quite old, but it was very good. I also read Are Prisons Obsolete by Angela Davis. That was also excellent, very informative. Leonard Pelter's book, I can't remember what it's called. That was also very good. And I read Live from Death Row by Mumia Abu Jamal, I think. Again, very good. These books are really important to read because they go through the atrocities of the US prison system, and they also help you recognize that these are human beings. I also read a bunch of installments of a prisoner's real prison journal. It's called My Prison Journal. The author is anonymous. Reading that in particular made me very resolute in my conviction of choosing to write to prisoners. So I've looked into how I can write to prisoners and how to get connected with a random prisoner, basically, to exchange letters and make them feel more human and less alone. I didn't start right away because I was still concerned about my safety. I know that it could not be a concern, but I just don't want to have to think about it. Basically, somebody who's in prison knowing what my address is. Generally, just somebody that I'm writing to who I don't know, knowing what my address is. You know what I mean? So I did get a P.O. box so that I can more comfortably write letters to prisoners. So I'm going to walk to the post office today with my P.O. box paperwork and my 2 forms of identification so that I can get my P.O. box officially opened up. But before that, I'm gonna eat some breakfast. Shishito peppers, basil, garlic chives, my cherry tomatoes, those are all from the garden. Kale and some sweet potato greens, also from the garden. I added eggs. I am a vegetarian, for anybody who's wondering, but I do eat, I'm not a vegan, I do eat eggs, but these are super hippy dippy eggs. I'm getting really nervous about going to the post office. I have my IDs and I have my paperwork. I don't know if I'm supposed to fill any of it out before going there. They might tell me that I'm stupid and that I didn't do it all right, and then I don't even know what I'm gonna do for like fun if I do go all the way over there and it was not worth anything. So I'm just gonna listen to Frankenstein on the way over there. Okay, bye guys. I just got back home. I have a P.O. box. I'm so happy that that went well. I got my P.O. box keys. I'm so excited. I opened up my P.O. box. It is so dusty inside. The guy at the post office was so funny because he was saying like, oh, anytime you do this kind of thing online, they'll just like assign something. And he said that they had to start getting like more keys because it would always pick a box that they didn't have enough keys for, or like in this case, it picked an incredibly dusty box. Maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick of dust in the bottom of my P.O. box. But I have one. I'm so stoked. I can start writing to prisoners now. Really exciting. I stopped by the nursery. While I was walking to the post office, I passed by the nursery, the plant nursery, and I was like, oh, I know what I can do as a treat in case this goes terribly wrong. I can get some plants. And I stopped by anyway, even though it went well. I have some seed garlic, some onion sets, which will be really nice. They're red onions. And I got 2 types of thyme. I do have thyme in the garden already that I grew from seed, but that's just like regular thyme. I got a lemon thyme, Dune Valley is what it's called, and I got woolly thyme, which I'm really excited about. It's very fuzzy I did listen to a little bit of Frankenstein, but I was a little bit distracted because I was really paranoid about getting hit by a car. I was just super nervous. My town kind of reminds me of Twin Peaks. With this post office, first time I've ever been into the post office here, it was ancient, very wooden, and just had such a strong, like, sheriff's office Twin Peaks vibe. And even the guy who was working there had such like a maybe like Officer Andy. He just had a Twin Peaks vibe. It was very Twin Peaks. I felt like I was in a different era. I have a P.O. box. So excited. Did not plant plants in the garden. I took my dog out for a walk instead because I was just really anxious about being in my front yard. I don't know, sometimes that happens. There were tree trimmers in the area that I was going to put the wildflower seeds, so I will postpone that for tomorrow or later. It's not even noon yet. I feel like I've done a lot. I've been reading Frankenstein, I've been listening to it, and I have no idea what's going on anymore. There was just like, somebody died. I need to look up like a plot summary or something because I'm really confused. I have just come back from planting plants in the garden. I planted the 2 varieties of thyme, and I also planted a fig. I got a fig cutting to root, so I put that in the front yard as well. I think that's about it. I did trim back a bunch of mint. I wasn't reading anything when I was out there. I'm actually feeling kind of stupid today. My brain just doesn't seem to want to do very much. So I think I'm going to go lay down in the bed and read probably for a couple pages and then fall asleep. That's the hope. I'm really pooped. I had a pretty eventful day for me, I feel like. I get like a little bit agoraphobic sometimes, and today was a bit of a much. I'm gonna put some wildflower mixes, and then I have some hollyhock seeds, which I'll also put in there. So I'm gonna mix some of these with some dirt and then throw it. I felt awful yesterday after about like, I don't know, maybe like 1 or 2. My nose got really stuffed up. I had a lot of sinus pressure, but I seem to be okay this morning. I slept a lot. I'm going to listen to Frankenstein as I broadcast some seeds into the earth. I don't know why I just ate a piece of chocolate. So as you can see, I did plant those flower seeds. So hopefully we have some beautiful flowers that come up in the winter and spring. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.